BEERMKR is an innovative new machine that lets anyone, regardless of their experience, brew delicious craft beer right in their own home. I'm going to walk you through the major steps in traditional homebrewing and how BEERMKR has dramatically simplified this complex process. Ingredients. So this is where BEERMKR is about as traditional as it gets. We use the same grains, hops, and yeast that your local craft brewery uses. We pack them into maker kits, which come with the ingredients pre-portioned and ready to brew. So all you need to do is add them at the right step. Maker kits come in a wide variety of styles, and the list of kits is growing every month. Or, if you're already a seasoned pro, you can simply use your own ingredients. The first step in making beer is mashing grains to create wort, which is just unfermented beer. In this step, the grains are added to water, heated to about 150 degrees, and then the temperature activates enzymes in the grains to convert their starches into fermentable sugars. In traditional homebrewing, this is accomplished using big pots with false bottoms, coolers with pumps, or simply a big nylon bag filled with grain and placed in a pot. All of these methods require strict temperature control to produce the correct wort. With BEERMKR, just add your grains to the brew tub, fill the machine with water, and hit start. BEERMKR will automatically bring the machine up to the correct temperatures, then cool down when it's time to pitch the yeast. Fermentation is perhaps the most important step in the beer making process. It's where beer gets much of its unique characteristics, like the clove phenolics of Belgian beers, or the banana esters of German Hefeweizens, or the tart fruity notes of an English ale. Yeast are added or pitched in the wort, and as they come alive, they digest those fermentable sugars to produce alcohol. In order to make great beer, this process needs accurate temperature control and adherence to strict cleaning and sanitizing practices. Most homebrewers use 5-gallon carboys and either let the season or the area of their home or garage dictate the fermentation temperature, or they use some sort of temperature control system, because without temperature control, your beer will be entirely unpredictable. It could turn out great if you happen to ferment an English ale in a 65-degree basement, or poorly if you try to make a German lager in your garage in the dead of summer. So depending on beer, fermentation can take anywhere between 1 and 4 weeks. And BEERMKR, on the other hand, has fermentation temperature control built right in that allows you to produce consistent, excellent beer of any style, including cold fermenting lagers, warm fermenting ales, and everything in between. It does this with an electric cooling system and real-time temperature and pressure feedback, allowing the environment to change in real time based on the needs of the yeast. In practice, BEERMKR will see yeast begin fermenting, hold at the right temperature for primary fermentation, then as they slow down, it will gently ease the yeast up in temperature for their rest. This active yeast management both speeds up the overall fermentation time while maximizing yeast flavor profile development. Or simply put, this means you get consistently great beer in as little as 5 days without any of the off flavors that result from poor or no temperature control. Now that your beer is fermented, you're going to want to carbonate it and serve it. There are a few ways to go about this. Lots of homebrewers do it the old-fashioned way, by bottling and using priming sugars, which adds another 2 weeks to the process. Lots of experienced brewers use kegs and CO2 to force carbonate, which is much faster in the process. Both of these methods require brewers to transfer the beer from one vessel to another, which means you need to thoroughly clean and sanitize everything to make sure you don't contaminate your beer. With BEERMKR, there's no risk of contamination because the beer never leaves the beer bag. Just transfer it over to the beer tap, screw in the provided CO2 cartridge, place the tap in the fridge, and you'll be drinking cold, carbonated beer in the next day or two. So for cleaning, ask any home brewer and they'll tell you that most of their home brewing time is spent cleaning and sanitizing. This step is incredibly important for a successful brew, but honestly, it's kind of a drag. With BEERMKR, because the beer never leaves the enclosed system, there's no need to clean and sanitize tubes, carboys, and bottles. Just drop the parts in the dishwasher and you're ready for your next brew. Here at BEERMKR, we want to make brewing easy enough for anyone to do. Whether you're new to brewing or a seasoned pro, BEERMKR has the controls and the technology to help you make great beer.